3 days passed. The alien delegation stayed on the orbital station, but they did not come out of their quarters. Their ship remained docked, silent and still, waiting for orders that had not yet come. The humans went about their business, but everyone knew something important was happening behind those closed doors. Ambassador Una spent the time reviewing every piece of information they had shared with the aliens. She wondered if they had said too much. If they had frightened the Council so badly that they would decide humanity was too dangerous to contact. If all their hopes for joining the galactic community would end before they had truly begun. On the morning of the 4th day, a message came. Ambassador, Jiwoo's voice came through the speaker. The delegation is requesting a final meeting. They say they have received instructions from the Council. Una took a deep breath. Tell them I will be there in 10 minutes. She found Commander Hannah and Dr. Do-hyun waiting outside the meeting room. Their faces were tense but calm. Whatever came next, they would face it together. Ready? Una asked. As ready as we will ever be, Hannah replied. They entered the room. The 5 aliens were already seated at the table. They looked different somehow. Less afraid. More composed. The lead alien rose as the humans entered and gestured for them to sit. Thank you for coming, it said. I apologize for the delay. We needed time to consult with the Council and process everything we learned. We understand, Una said. Take as much time as you need. The Council has reached a decision. The alien paused, and Una felt her heart beating faster. But before I share it, I want to tell you something. It looked at each human in turn, its glowing eyes thoughtful. When we first came here, we were afraid. We had heard rumors about Earth, about the violence and danger of your world. We expected to find primitive creatures barely surviving against the monsters that surrounded them. We expected prey. The alien shook its head slowly. We were wrong. So completely wrong that we could not believe it at first. What we found instead was something the Council has never seen in all its long history. A species that turned fear into strength. That transformed danger into opportunity. That did not merely survive its predators, but conquered them utterly. Dr. Do-hyun nodded. We did what we had to do. No, the alien said firmly. You did more than that. Much more. You did not just survive. You thrived. You built civilizations that span your entire world. You created art and music and literature that speaks to the depths of your souls. You reached out into space, not because you were fleeing from something, but because you wanted to find something new. It leaned forward. Do you know how rare that is? Most species in the galaxy developed intelligence by hiding, by being small and quiet and invisible. They evolved to avoid danger, not to face it. And because of that, they remained small in spirit as well. Cautious, afraid, always looking over their shoulders for the predator that might come. But humans are different. You faced every predator on your world and won. You faced each other in terrible wars and learned from your mistakes. You faced the vast emptiness of space and refused to be intimidated by it. Nothing frightens you. Not really. Because you know, deep in your bones, that you can overcome anything. Commander Hannah spoke quietly. We have fears. Every human does. Yes, but you do not let fear control you. That is the difference. Other species are paralyzed by fear. Humans use fear as fuel. It makes you stronger, faster, more determined. Fear is not your master. It is your servant. The alien sat back. This is what I have told the Council. And this is their response. It pressed a button on the table, and a holographic message appeared. It was written in symbols the humans could not read, but the translator band converted them into spoken words. The Galactic Council hereby recognizes the species known as humanity as a unique classification. They are neither prey nor predator in the traditional sense. They are something new, something unprecedented. They shall be designated as apex survivors, and they shall be welcomed into the galactic community as full members, with all the rights and responsibilities that entails. Yuna felt tears forming in her eyes. We are accepted? Yes, the alien said. But with certain conditions. What conditions? The Council wants to learn from you. Your species has accomplished in 300,000 years what others have not accomplished in millions. Your methods, your way of thinking, your approach to problems, these are valuable beyond measure. The Council hopes you will share your knowledge. Diane smiled. We would be honored. There is also concern, the alien continued carefully. Some members of the Council fear what humanity might do if it turns its attention outward. You have conquered your own world. What will you do when you encounter other worlds? Other species? Will you try to conquer them as well? Yuna shook her head firmly. That is not who we are. We do not seek to dominate others. We want partners, not subjects. Friends, not servants. I believe you, the alien said. But the Council will need proof. They will be watching. They will judge humanity not by its words, but by its actions. Then we will show them, Hana said. We will prove that humans can be trusted. That our strength can be used to help, not to harm. The alien studied her for a long moment. Then, slowly, it did something unexpected. It stood up and extended one of its long, thin hands toward Hana. On my world, it said, this gesture means trust. It means we are willing to stand beside you, even when we are afraid. Even when we do not fully understand you. Hana took the alien's hand. Its skin was cool and smooth, and she could feel it trembling slightly. But it did not pull away. Thank you, she said. The alien looked at her with those glowing eyes. I asked you before what humans want. You said you want to learn and grow and protect your friends. Is that still true? Yes, always. Then let me ask you one final question. The one that has troubled me since I first learned the truth about your species. The alien's voice was soft, almost gentle. You are the apex predators of your world. You have no natural enemies. Nothing threatens you. And yet you reached out to the stars, knowing that you might find species far more advanced than yourselves. Species that could destroy you. Why did you take that risk? Yuna answered without hesitation. Because we would rather die seeking friends than live alone. The alien was silent for a long time. When it spoke again, its voice was thick with emotion. My people fear many things. The dark, the unknown, being alone. We joined the Council because we were afraid of facing the universe by ourselves. We thought that was the only reason anyone would reach out to others. Because they were scared. It looked at Yuna with something like wonder. But you are not scared. You reached out because you genuinely want to connect. Because you see the universe not as a threat, but as an opportunity. Because even though you could survive alone, you choose not to. Yuna smiled. Humans are social creatures. We need each other. We need community, connection, friendship. All the power in the universe means nothing if you have no one to share it with. The alien nodded slowly. I think I finally understand. You are not just apex predators. You are apex survivors. And you survived not just because of your strength, but because of your hearts. Your ability to love, to connect, to work together toward common goals. That is your true power. Dahin spoke up. That is what I was trying to explain earlier. Yes, we are dangerous. Yes, we have done terrible things. But we have also done beautiful things. We have created families and friendships that last generations. We have built cultures that celebrate life. We have looked at the stars and dreamed of reaching them, and then we made those dreams come true. You asked which predators humans fear, Do-hyun continued. The answer is none. But that is not because we are fearless. It is because we learned long ago that the best way to deal with fear is to face it together. No predator can defeat a species that refuses to give up. That is the lesson of humanity. That is the reason we made it. The lead alien turned to its companions. They exchanged those silent glances again, communicating in ways the humans could not understand. Finally, the lead alien turned back. I will tell the Council everything you have said. I will recommend that humanity be given every opportunity to prove itself. And I will tell them that in all my years of studying species across the galaxy, I have never met anyone quite like humans. And what will you say about us? Yuna asked. The alien's thin lips curved into what might have been a smile. I will say that when the universe sent you predators, you became the predators. When it sent you challenges, you conquered them. When it sent you death, you found ways to live. And when it sent you loneliness, you reached out across the stars and asked to be friends. It bowed its head slightly. I will say that humanity is the reason they survived. And I will say that the galaxy is fortunate to have you. The alien turned and walked toward the door, followed by its companions. At the threshold, it stopped and looked back one last time. Welcome to the Galactic Council, humans. We look forward to seeing what you do next. And then they were gone, leaving the three humans alone in the quiet room, looking at each other with tears in their eyes and hope in their hearts. Outside the window, the stars glittered like a million possibilities waiting to be explored. And somewhere out there, beyond the darkness, a whole galaxy was watching and wondering what these strange, wonderful... The meeting room fell silent. The aliens sat frozen in their chairs, their pale faces blank, their glowing eyes staring at nothing. The lead alien had not moved for several minutes. Its translator band flickered occasionally, as if trying to process thoughts that could not be put into words. Ambassador Yuna watched them with concern. She had expected the meeting to be challenging, but she had not expected this. The aliens looked broken, defeated, as if everything they had believed about the universe had been proven wrong in a single afternoon. Perhaps we should stop here, she suggested gently. You have learned a lot today. Maybe you need time to think. The lead alien slowly shook its head. No, we must continue. The Council requires a complete report. We cannot return with only part of the story. Then let me help explain something, Commander Hannah said. She stepped forward and stood next to Do-hyun. The doctor has told you about our predators and how we hunted them, but he has not told you the full truth about humanity. The aliens looked at her with weary eyes. What more is there? One of them asked. What else could there possibly be? Hannah's expression was serious. Humans did not just hunt animals. Throughout our history, we have also hunted each other. The room seemed to grow colder. Each other? The lead alien repeated. You mean humans kill other humans? Yes, we always have. From the earliest days of our species, humans have fought wars against other humans. Tribes against tribes. Nations against nations. We have killed millions of our own kind. The alien made a sound of pure horror. But why? Why would you do such a thing? Many reasons. For land. For resources. For power. For beliefs. Sometimes for no reason at all. Hannah's voice was heavy. War is part of human history. It is something we have struggled with since the beginning. One of the other aliens spoke, its voice barely a whisper. On our world, we have never killed our own kind. Violence between us is unknown. We cannot even imagine such a thing. I know, Hannah said, and I envy you for that. But for humans, conflict has been a constant companion. It has shaped who we are in ways both terrible and sometimes beautiful. Beautiful? The alien seemed unable to comprehend the word. How can killing be beautiful? Hannah was quiet for a moment, gathering her thoughts. Because from war, we learned to protect. Every time humans fought each other, we also learned to defend the ones we loved. We built walls to keep our families safe. We created medicine to heal the wounded. We developed laws to prevent unnecessary suffering. She pulled up images on the room's display. Soldiers carrying wounded comrades. Doctors treating enemies and friends alike. People rebuilding cities after battles. Our worst moments taught us to be better. Every horror we committed pushed us to create safeguards against future horrors. It is not a perfect system. We still make mistakes. But we are always trying to improve. The lead alien studied the images. You fight each other, and then you help each other? Yes, that is the human way. We are capable of great cruelty, but also great kindness. Often the same person can show both, depending on the situation. Dr. Do-hyun nodded. The commander is right. Humans are complicated. We are not simple creatures with simple motivations. We can love and hate at the same time. We can build and destroy in the same breath. We are, perhaps, the most contradictory species in the universe. The lead alien was silent for a long time. When it finally spoke, its voice was thoughtful, almost sad. In the Galactic Council, we classify species into categories. Prey species are peaceful, cooperative, easy to work with. Predator species are dangerous, aggressive, difficult to trust. But humans fit neither category. You are something we have never encountered before. What are we then? Yuna asked. I do not know, the alien admitted. You hunt predators but also tame them. You kill your own kind but also save them. You are capable of building great civilizations and also destroying them. You are chaos and order combined. You are everything at once. Commander Hannah smiled slightly. That is perhaps the most accurate description of humanity I have ever heard. The alien continued, almost talking to itself. We came here expecting to find a simple prey species. Something familiar. Something we could easily categorize and understand. Instead, we found something unprecedented. A species that evolved not to hide from danger, but to become the danger. A species that did not run from predators, but became the ultimate predator. It looked at the humans with new eyes. Not fear exactly, but something close to awe. How did you do it? How did a species with no natural weapons become the dominant life form on an entire planet? Do-hyun smiled. Would you like to see? Without waiting for an answer, he pulled up more images on the display. These were different from before. They showed not weapons or war, but creation. The first image was of ancient humans sitting around a fire, their faces lit by the dancing flames. Fire, Do-hyun said. That was our first great tool. We learned to control it when other animals could only fear it. Fire gave us warmth. It gave us light. It let us cook food, which made it easier to digest and gave us more energy. Fire changed everything. The next image showed early humans building shelters from branches and animal skins. Then we learned to build homes to protect us from weather and predators. Villages where families could live together safely. Cities that housed thousands of people working toward common goals. More images followed. Writing carved into stone tablets. Ships sailing across vast oceans. Machines spinning thread into cloth. We created language to share ideas. We invented writing to preserve knowledge across generations. We built ships to cross waters and wheels to cross land. Every problem we faced, we solved with creativity and cooperation. The aliens watched in silence as the images continued. Telescopes pointing at the stars. Rockets launching into space. Astronauts walking on the moon. And eventually, Do-hyun said softly, we reached out to the universe itself. We built machines to carry us beyond our world. We sent messages into the void, hoping someone would answer. And now, here we are, talking to you." The lead alien's eyes were bright again, glowing with something that might have been wonder. "You did all this? In how many years?" "About 300,000 years, Dahyun said. "That is how long our species has existed. In that time, we went from throwing rocks at animals to building spacecraft that travel between stars." 300,000 years is nothing," the alien whispered. "My species has existed for millions of years, and we only recently developed space travel." "How did you advance so quickly?" Ambassador Yuna spoke. "Because we had to. Our world is dangerous. If we did not evolve fast, we would have died. Necessity pushed us forward. Every challenge made us stronger. Every threat made us smarter. The predators," the alien said slowly. "They made you what you are. Yes, every creature that tried to kill us forced us to become better. Better hunters. Better builders. Better thinkers. Our predators did not destroy us. They forged us." The lead alien looked at its companions. They exchanged glances, having some kind of silent communication that the humans could not interpret. Finally, the lead alien turned back to Yuna. "I believe I understand now," it said. "When I asked which predators humans fear, the doctor said I was asking the wrong question." He was correct. The question should not be which predators humans fear. The question should be which predators fear humans. Dahyun nodded. "And the answer to that question is simple. All of them," the alien finished. "Every predator on Earth fears humans." "Yes." The alien stood up slowly. Its thin body straightened, and for the first time since arriving, it did not look afraid. It looked respectful. "I will need to make a full report to the council," it said. "They will want to know everything. This changes many things." "We understand," Yuna said. "Take whatever time you need." "Thank you." The alien paused, then asked one more question. "If humans are the apex predators of Earth, if you have conquered every challenge your world presented, then why did you reach out to the stars? What more could you possibly want?" Yuna smiled. "New challenges. New friends. New worlds to explore. Humans are never satisfied with what we have. We always want more. It is both our greatest strength and our greatest weakness." The alien considered this. "Perhaps that is what makes you so dangerous, and also so fascinating." It turned to leave, but stopped at the door. "One more thing," it said. "Your species, with all its power and all its history, what do you want from the council? What do you hope to achieve?" Yuna thought carefully before answering. "We want to learn. We want to grow. We want to meet other species and share knowledge with them. We want to explore the universe and understand our place in it." She paused. "And we want to make sure that if there are threats out there, we can protect ourselves and our friends from them." The alien nodded slowly. "I see. Then I hope, for everyone's sake, that the council chooses wisely." And with that, it left the room, followed by its silent companions. The aliens stared at Dahyun in complete silence. Their large eyes were fixed on him, unblinking, filled with an emotion that looked very much like terror. The lead alien's translator band flickered, as if struggling to process what it had just heard. "Made your own weapons?" It finally managed to say. "What do you mean?" Dahyun stood up and walked to the window. Outside, the stars glittered against the black emptiness of space. Earth and below them, blue and green and beautiful. "Look at our world," he said. "It seems peaceful from up here, doesn't it? But Earth is not peaceful. It never was. Our planet is a battleground. Every creature that lives there had to fight to survive. And humans, we fought hardest of all." He turned back to the aliens. You said you have no claws, no fangs, no armor. Neither do we. But humans learned something that changed everything. We learned to use tools. He picked up a stylus from the table and held it up. This is just a small stick. It cannot hurt anyone. But in the hands of a human, a stick becomes a spear. A rock becomes a blade. A piece of string becomes a trap. The aliens watched him with growing unease. Our ancestors did not have sharp teeth, so they made knives. They did not have thick skin, so they made armor from animal hides. They could not run fast, so they made horses carry them. They could not fly, so they built machines that could. Dahyun pulled up more images on his tablet. Stone axes, bronze swords, iron spears, bows and arrows. Each image showed humans using weapons against animals, against nature, against each other. Every problem we faced, we solved by creating something new. That is what makes humans different. We do not adapt to our environment. We make our environment adapt to us. The lead alien spoke slowly, carefully. You are saying that humans created weapons to hunt predators? Not just to hunt them, Dahyun said. To destroy them. To make them extinct. He showed a new image. It was a chart listing extinct animals. Mammoths, saber-toothed cats, giant sloths, dire wolves. The list went on and on. These creatures once ruled Earth, Dahyun explained. They were the greatest predators of their time. Strong, fast, deadly. And now they are gone. All of them. Do you know why? The alien shook its head. Because humans killed them. We hunted them until there were none left. We took their territories. We ate their food. We destroyed their homes. Within a few thousand years, almost every large predator on Earth was either dead or hiding from us. One of the other aliens spoke for the first time. Its voice was high and trembling. You killed entire species? On purpose? Sometimes on purpose. Sometimes by accident. But always completely. Dahyun's voice was calm, but there was something heavy in his words. Humans are very good at killing things. It is perhaps our greatest talent. Ambassador Yuna stepped forward. She could see that the aliens were becoming more and more frightened, and she wanted to balance Dahyun's grim explanation. But we are also good at other things, she said gently. We create music. We paint pictures. We write stories. We build families and communities. Yes, we can be dangerous, but we can also be kind. The lead alien looked at her. How can you be both? How can a species be so violent and so creative? Yuna thought for a moment. Because both come from the same place. We create because we want to survive. We fight because we want to protect what we love. A mother will kill to save her child. A friend will die to save another friend. Our violence and our love are not separate things. They are two sides of the same coin. The alien seemed to struggle with this idea. It turned back to Dahyun. Tell me more. I need to understand how your species thinks. Dahyun nodded. Let me tell you about persistence hunting. It is how our ancestors hunted before they had advanced weapons. He pulled up an image of a human running across a dry, open plain. In the distance, an antelope was fleeing. Humans cannot run as fast as most prey animals. A deer or an antelope can easily outrun a human in a short race. But humans have something else. We have endurance. The aliens leaned forward, curious despite their fear. Our bodies are designed for long-distance running. We can sweat to cool ourselves down, which most animals cannot do. We can carry water with us. We can keep moving when other creatures must stop and rest. Dahyun pointed to the image. This is how our ancestors hunted. They would pick an animal and start chasing it. The animal would run away easily, but the human would not stop. He would keep following, walking, jogging, tracking the animal's footprints. Hour after hour, the human would continue. The animal would run, then stop to rest. The human would catch up. The animal would run again. But each time, it was more tired. Each time, it could not run as far. Finally, after hours or even days, the animal would collapse from exhaustion. It could not run anymore. It could not fight. It would simply lie there, waiting for death. And the human would walk up to it, completely calm, and kill it with a simple tool. The lead alien made that untranslatable sound again. You chased animals until they died of exhaustion? Yes. For thousands of years, that was our primary hunting method. We did not need to be fast. We did not need to be strong. We simply needed to never give up. That is, the alien searched for words. That is terrifying. Yes, Dahyun agreed. It is. Can you imagine what it must be like? To be hunted by something that never stops? That never gets tired? That follows you no matter where you run, no matter how far you go. Something that just keeps coming, day after day, until you cannot move anymore? The aliens were visibly shaking now. Their thin bodies trembled, and they pressed closer together. We have a word for this in many human languages, Do-Yun continued. Relentless. It means never stopping, never giving up. Humans are relentless. Once we decide to do something, we do not stop until it is done. Whether it is hunting an animal, building a city, or reaching the stars. Commander Hannah spoke up. Doctor, perhaps we should take a break. Our guests seem distressed. Do-Hyun looked at the aliens and nodded. Yes, you are right. I apologize. I did not mean to frighten you. The lead alien held up a trembling hand. No, please continue. We need to hear this. The council needs to know. Are you sure? Yes, we came here seeking information. We will not leave until we have it. Do-Han respected that. Despite their obvious fear, the aliens were committed to their mission. That took courage. Very well, he said. Then let me tell you about something else. Something that might help you understand us better. He pulled up a new image. It showed a wolf standing next to a human, both looking at the camera. This is a wolf. Or rather, it was a wolf. Wolves are dangerous predators. They hunt in packs. They have sharp teeth and strong jaws. For thousands of years, they competed with humans for food. And you killed them all? The alien asked. No, we did something different. Something that shows another side of humanity. Do-Hyun smiled. We made them our friends. The aliens looked confused. Friends? With a predator? Yes, over many generations, humans took wolves and raised them. We fed them, protected them, trained them. Slowly, the wolves changed. They became less wild, more gentle. They learned to trust humans. They learned to work with us. He showed an image of different dog breeds. Golden retrievers, German shepherds, tiny chihuahuas. Today, we call them dogs. They are no longer wolves. They are our companions. They live in our homes, sleep in our beds, play with our children. The predator that once hunted us now loves us. The lead alien stared at the images. You, who changed them? You took a wild predator and turned it into a pet? Not just wolves, Do-Hyun said. We did this with many animals. Horses, cows, pigs, chickens. We took wild creatures and made them serve us. We changed their very nature through careful breeding over generations. That is not hunting, the alien whispered. That is something else entirely. That is control. Yes, Do-Hyun agreed. Complete control. Humans do not just kill predators. We tame them. We reshape them. We make them part of our world. The lead alien sat back in its chair. Its glowing eyes were dim now, as if the light behind them was fading. "I think," it said quietly, "I am beginning to understand." Dr. Doan sat down at the table and placed his tablet in front of him. He had spent his entire life studying Earth's animals and plants. He knew every ecosystem, every food chain, every predator that had ever walked, swum, or flown across his home world. But he had never expected to explain any of this to aliens. The lead alien watched him with those large, glowing eyes. It had not moved since asking its question. None of them had. They sat perfectly still, like statues made of pale flesh. "Before I answer," Do-hyun said carefully, "I need to understand what you mean by the question. When you ask which predators humans fear most, what exactly are you looking for?" The alien tilted its head. "We wish to know which creatures hunt your species. Which animals pose a threat to human survival. Every intelligent species in the galaxy has such predators. Creatures that shaped their evolution. Creatures that taught them fear." Dawn nodded slowly. "I see. And why is this important to the Council?" "Because fear shapes a species," the alien replied. "A species that fears great beasts becomes cautious and careful. A species that fears small poisons becomes suspicious and alert. A species that fears the sky stays close to the ground. By understanding what you fear, we understand who you are." Ambassador Yuna leaned forward. "That's fascinating. So you classify species based on their predators?" "Yes, it is part of our evaluation process. We must know if a species is safe to interact with. Peaceful prey species are welcome in the Council. Aggressive predator species are handled differently." There was something in the way the alien said that last part that made Do-hyun uncomfortable. He exchanged a glance with Commander Hana, who had noticed it too. "Let me explain something about Earth," Do-hyun said. He touched his tablet and a holographic image of the planet appeared above the table. "Our world has many different environments. Hot deserts, frozen poles, deep oceans, thick jungles. And in each environment, there are predators." The aliens leaned forward slightly, watching the hologram with interest. "In the oceans," Do-hyun continued, "we have sharks. They are large fish with rows of sharp teeth. They have existed for millions of years, since before the dinosaurs." He showed an image of a great white shark. Its mouth was open, showing hundreds of teeth. The aliens made soft sounds and pressed back in their chairs. "On land, we have big cats. Lions, tigers, leopards. They are fast and strong, with claws and fangs designed for killing." More images appeared. A lion taking down a zebra. A tiger prowling through tall grass. The aliens looked genuinely disturbed. "In some places, we have bears. They are massive creatures that can weigh over 1,000 pounds. They can crush bones with a single blow." The lead alien held up its hand. "Please," it said, its voice shaking. "We understand. Your world is full of dangerous predators. This is alarming." Do-hyun frowned. "Alarming? Why?" "Because you have survived. Your species has thrived on a world filled with such monsters. This suggests you are either very lucky or very—" The alien did not finish the sentence. "Very what?" Do-hyun asked. The alien was silent for a moment. Then it spoke carefully. "We come from a peaceful world. Our ancestors evolved on a planet with few predators. Small creatures that posed little threat. We developed intelligence because we had time to think, to create, to grow. We did not need to fight." It gestured to its thin body, its pale skin. "We are not built for conflict. We cannot run fast. We cannot fight. We have no claws, no fangs, no armor. We survived because our world was gentle." Do-hyun began to understand. "And you think species that come from dangerous worlds must be dangerous themselves?" That is the common belief in the Council, the alien admitted. Species that survive harsh conditions often become harsh themselves, aggressive, violent, dangerous to others. Ambassador Yuna spoke up. But humans are not violent. Well, we can be, but we are also capable of great kindness. We build communities. We help each other. We create art and music and stories. The alien looked at her with something like confusion. You have all these predators, and yet you speak of kindness? How is this possible? Because we chose to be kind, Yuna said simply. We had to fight to survive, yes. But we also learned to work together, to protect each other. That is what made us strong. The alien seemed to struggle with this idea. It turned back to Do-yoon. Tell me more about these predators. I need to understand. How did humans survive among such creatures? Do-yoon smiled slightly. That is the interesting part. You asked which predators humans fear most. But you are asking the wrong question. The wrong question? Yes. You assume that humans are prey, that we are victims of predators, just like other species in the galaxy. But Earth's history tells a different story. He pulled up more images on his tablet. Cave paintings showing humans with spears. Ancient tools made from bone and stone. Maps showing human migration across the planet. Humans did not hide from predators, Do-hyun explained. We did not evolve to run away or to stay safe in one place. Instead, we did something unusual. We followed them. The aliens looked confused. We followed predators. The lead alien repeated. Yes, when early humans saw a dangerous animal, they did not simply flee. They watched it. They learned its patterns. They studied how it hunted, where it slept when it was weak. And then, when they were ready, they hunted it back. Do-hyun showed an image of early humans surrounding a mammoth. The massive creature was covered in spears, and the humans were closing in for the kill. We did not just survive predators, Do-hyun said quietly. We killed them. We drove them from their territories. We took their hunting grounds and made them our own. Every predator you mentioned, sharks, lions, tigers, bears, humans, have hunted them all. The room was very quiet. The lead alien's eyes were wide. Its hands gripped the edge of the table so tightly that its pale knuckles turned even wider. You hunted the predators? Yes, but why? Why would prey hunt predators? That is not natural. That is not how evolution works. Do-hyun leaned forward. Because humans are not prey. We never were. From the very beginning, we were something different. Something the galaxy has apparently never seen before. Commander Hannah stepped forward. Her voice was calm but firm. Dr. Do-hyun, perhaps you should explain more clearly. I think our guests are having trouble understanding. Do-hyun nodded. He looked at the aliens, who were now trembling visibly. You asked which predators humans fear, he said. But the truth is, there's only one predator on Earth that all other creatures fear. Only one species that has hunted every animal, conquered every environment, and spread across the entire planet. He paused. That predator is us. Humans are not prey. We are the apex predators of Earth. We always have been. The lead alien made a sound that the translator could not interpret. It might have been fear. It might have been shock. It might have been something that had no word in any human language. That is impossible, it whispered. You have no claws, no fangs, no natural weapons. Do-hyun smiled, and for the first time, the alien seemed to see something dangerous in that smile. We don't need them, he said. We made our own. The ship came out of nowhere. One moment, the sky above Earth's orbital station was empty and dark. The next moment, a massive vessel appeared like a ghost stepping out of shadow. It was silver and smooth, shaped like a teardrop, and it moved without any sound at all. Ambassador Yuna stood at the observation deck and watched the ship approach. She had been waiting for this moment for 3 years. 3 years of radio signals. 3 years of careful messages sent back and forth across the stars. And now, finally, the Galactic Council had sent their representatives to meet humanity face to face. She took a deep breath and straightened her uniform. Her heart was beating fast, but her face remained calm. She had trained for this. She was ready. "Ambassador," said a voice behind her. "They are requesting docking permission." Yuna turned to see her assistant, a young man named Ji Woo, standing at the doorway. He looked nervous. His hands were shaking slightly as he held his tablet. "Grant them permission," Yuna said, "and tell the welcome team to prepare. We want everything to be perfect." Ji Woo nodded and hurried away. Yuna turned back to the window. The alien ship was now close enough that she could see details on its surface. There were no windows, no markings, nothing that looked familiar. It was completely smooth, like it had been carved from a single piece of metal. She wondered what the beings inside looked like. The messages they had exchanged gave no hint. The Galactic Council spoke of peace and cooperation, of sharing knowledge and resources, but they had never sent images of themselves. Yuna had imagined many possibilities. Some were beautiful. Some were strange. Some kept her awake at night. The ship docked with a soft click that echoed through the station. Yuna walked to the main hall, where the welcome team was already assembled. There were 12 people in total, including scientists, diplomats, and security officers. Commander Hana stood at the front, her hand resting on her weapon, but her expression calm. "Remember," Yuna said to everyone, "we do not know what they look like or how they behave. Stay calm, stay polite, and most importantly, stay human." The team nodded. The doors to the docking bay hissed open. For a moment, nothing happened. The hallway beyond was dark and quiet. Then, slowly figures began to emerge from the shadows. Yuna felt her breath catch in her throat. They were tall, taller than any human she had ever seen. Their bodies were thin and pale, almost white, with long limbs that bent in unusual ways. Their faces were flat with large eyes that seemed to glow faintly in the dim light. They had no hair, no ears that she could see, and their mouths were small slits that barely moved when they spoke. There were 5 of them. They walked slowly, carefully, as if the floor might break beneath their feet. Their eyes darted around the room, looking at everything and everyone. They seemed afraid. Yuna stepped forward and smiled warmly. "Welcome to Earth's orbital station," she said. "I am Ambassador Yuna, and I speak for humanity. We are honored to receive you." The lead alien stopped a few feet away from her. It was slightly taller than the others, and it wore a silver band around its neck that glowed softly. When it spoke, the band translated its words into English. "We thank you for receiving us," the alien said. Its voice was soft and trembling. "I am called Pale One, who walks in shadow. I represent the Galactic Council." Yuna bowed her head slightly. "Please, come. We have prepared a meeting room where we can talk comfortably." She led the delegation through the station. As they walked, she noticed that the aliens kept looking around nervously. They flinched at sudden sounds. They pressed close together, as if seeking safety in numbers. One of them stumbled when a door slid open nearby, and another let out a small sound of fear. Yuna found this strange. These beings had traveled across the stars. They had technology far beyond anything humanity had created. And yet, they seemed scared of everything around them. When they reached the meeting room, Yuna gestured for everyone to sit. The aliens looked at the chairs with confusion, then slowly lowered themselves down. They sat stiffly, their long fingers gripping the edges of the table. "We are very happy to finally meet you," Yuna said. For many years, Humans have looked up at the stars and wondered if we were alone. Now we know the answer. We hope this is the beginning of a great friendship between our peoples." The lead alien nodded slowly. "The Galactic Council has watched your species for some time. You are unusual. We have many questions." "Of course," Yuna said. "Ask anything you wish." The alien hesitated. It looked at its companions, and they exchanged glances that Yuna could not read. Finally, it turned back to her. "Before we begin formal discussions, there is a matter we must address. It is required by Council law. We must review your planet's ecological records." Yuna raised an eyebrow. "Ecological records?" "Yes. Specifically, we need information about your planet's predators. We must know what dangers exist on Earth. This information will determine how our diplomatic relationship proceeds." Yuna was surprised by the request. She had expected questions about politics, technology, or culture. Not ecology. "I see," she said slowly. "May I ask why this is important?" The alien's large eyes blinked. Every civilized species in the galaxy has predators on their home world. Creatures that hunt, that kill, that cause fear. Understanding a species' predators helps us understand the species itself. It tells us what they fear, what shapes their minds, what dangers they face. Yuna nodded. "That makes sense. I will arrange for our best ecologist to meet with you. He can answer all your questions." "That would be acceptable," the alien said. Yuna pressed a button on the table. "Jiwoo, please contact Dr. Do-Yin. Tell him the council delegation wishes to speak with him about Earth's ecology." "Right away, Ambassador," Jiwoo's voice replied. While they waited, Yuna offered the aliens food and drink. They refused politely, explaining that they could not consume human food. They seemed uncomfortable, sitting rigidly in their chairs, watching the humans with those large, glowing eyes. Commander Hana leaned close to Yuna and whispered, "They're scared of us." Yuna nodded slightly. She had noticed it too. These powerful aliens, with their advanced technology and their great council, seemed genuinely frightened. But of what? The station was peaceful. There was no danger here, unless, she thought, they knew something she did not. 20 minutes later, the door opened and Dr. Do-Yun walked in. He was a middle-aged man with kind eyes and gray hair. He carried a tablet filled with data and wore a friendly smile. "Ambassador," he said, bowing slightly. "You called for me?" "Yes, Doctor. Our guests have questions about Earth's predators. I thought you would be the best person to help them." Do-Yun looked at the aliens and his smile widened. "Of course. I would be happy to help. What would you like to know?" The lead alien leaned forward, its eyes fixed on Do-Yun. "We need to know," it said slowly, "which predators your species fears the most. Which creatures on your world are the greatest danger to humans?" Do-Yun paused. He looked at Yuna, then back at the alien. "That," he said quietly, "is a very interesting question.